Barty, baby, listen up, loves. The timeline is about to catch fire this week, and I need every single one of you to buckle in. Sit tight, silence your notifications, and put your phone on Do Not Disturb, because what I am about to walk you through is the messiest, ugliest, most explosive cross-continental crash-out of the entire year. And I do not say that lightly. I say that because a woman across the ocean just kicked down the door of the internet, dragged her ex through digital concrete, and dropped a receipt so radioactive that Cardi B's name is now welded to a scandal that stretches from Lagos to Los Angeles. Yes, you heard me correctly. Cardi B. Again. Because here is the pattern nobody in Hollywood wants to admit out loud. Every single time Cardi B so much as breathes in the direction of a man, a baby mama with a phone, a grudge, a screenshot folder, and a notes app crawls out of the shadows like clockwork. And this time, this time it is different. This time it is unhinged. This time, she says the man beat her, cheated on her with women and with men, abandoned their sick child in a hospital bed, and left her to crash her own car on the morning of their son's birthday. And Cardi B is standing right in the middle of the blast radius, in a designer dress, front row, smiling for cameras that do not yet know what she has walked into. Let me set the table for you. The man at the center of this five-alarm fire is a Nigerian soccer star known simply as Maduka. Not a household name in the States, yet. But mark my words, by the time this video ends, Maduka will be the most searched athlete on the planet. Because Cardi B has now been publicly spotted with Maduka not once, but twice. First at a European fashion show, sitting front row like royalty. Then again at a private dinner, with Maduka seated so close to Cardi B that lip readers were working overtime. The photos went nuclear. The videos went interstellar. And the second sighting hit the timeline, a woman, a mother, a baby mama with a very long memory and a very loaded phone, decided that her silence was officially over. And what she typed out, baby, it is a horror film in text form. Now before we go 1 inch deeper, let me remind you where we have seen this exact movie before, because Cardi B is not new to this cycle. Cardi B is fluent in this cycle. Cardi B invented the modern remix of this cycle. Rewind the tape. Cardi B was married to Offset, a man whose receipt catalog is longer than a CVS ribbon on Black Friday. Cardi B forgave Offset, had children with Offset, built a life with Offset, and Offset still played in her face with a rotating door of women that the internet cataloged in real time. Then Cardi B moves on. Cardi B pivots. Cardi B lands with Stefon Diggs, and the exact same script rebooted itself frame by frame. Stefon Diggs had baby mamas of his own, and the moment Cardi B confirmed the entanglement on national television with Gayle King, those women appeared from every corner of the internet like they had been waiting on the sideline for the starter pistol. Stefon Diggs got hit with lawsuits. Stefon Diggs got released by the New England Patriots. Stefon Diggs became a walking cautionary tale. And Cardi B walked away, launched the I Am the Drama tour, sold out arenas, and kept it moving like nothing ever happened. So when I tell you that this Maduka situation is following the exact same blueprint, down to the choreography, down to the timing, down to the punctuation, I need you to understand it is not a coincidence. It is a pattern. And the pattern always ends with a baby mama at 3 in the morning on Instagram stories saying things that should legally require a subpoena and a lawyer in the room. So let me read you what she posted. Take a breath first. You will need it. She started with this, and I am quoting the spirit of it, not the spelling, because baby, the spelling was a whole separate crisis. She wrote that she had shut her mouth. She had lied for him. She had covered up things he did to her so that Maduka could keep his career glowing and his sponsorships breathing. And in return, he humiliated her. He made her look like a bitter, jealous, jilted baby mother, when the truth, according to her, is that she made him. Nobody knew Maduka's name before her. Nobody was in the building when he was broke. Nobody cooked for him. Nobody wiped him down after surgery. Nobody stayed up all night when their son could not breathe. Nobody but her. And Maduka? According to this woman, Maduka repaid her by beating her, by cheating on her with women, and here is where the internet lost its entire mind, by cheating on her with men. Yes, you read that correctly. She is publicly claiming that Maduka, the Nigerian soccer star currently spotted arm in arm with Cardi B, is allegedly attracted to both sexes and allegedly acted on it during their relationship. She says he admitted it to her face. She says he is open about who he is dating and who he is speaking to. She says, and I want to be very careful with the framing here, that his sexuality is his own business, but that his behavior toward their child is not. Now let me pause, because this is the exact moment the timeline exploded. This is the exact moment Cardi B's name became a search engine wildfire on 3 continents. Because we have seen accusations of cheating before. We have seen accusations of abandonment before. But an accusation this specific, aimed at a man now publicly linked to Cardi B? That is a match. And the internet is dry timber soaked in gasoline. The baby mama did not stop there. She went further. She said their infant son was hospitalized 4 separate times in the intensive care unit, 4 times, by ambulance, and Maduka did not show up. Not once. She asked the internet, directly and desperately, which father does not go to his child when the child is fighting for his life? And then she pivoted. She said Maduka is out here with Cardi B pretending she, the mother, lost something. She wrote, and I am paraphrasing for readability, I left you. I was with you since 2020. Imagine just having a baby and finding out your man loves both. And that is the sentence that broke Twitter. Because whether it is true or exaggerated or somewhere in the gray, that sentence attaches itself to Cardi B whether Cardi B likes it or not. So look, here is where I need to be a grown woman and say the thing nobody else is saying. Cardi B has not confirmed a romance with Maduka. Cardi B has not posted him. Cardi B has not claimed him. From every angle I have studied, and I have studied a lot of angles, it looks professional, it looks social, it looks like 2 very famous people sharing very expensive rooms. It could be business. It could be flirtation. It could be a full-blown situationship dressed up as a photo op. Nobody outside of Cardi B and Maduka knows for sure. But here is what Cardi B does do. And Cardi B does it beautifully, ruthlessly, brilliantly. Cardi B makes sure the world sees that she is never, ever sitting at home crying. When Offset was done, Cardi B made sure the world saw her thriving. When Stefon Diggs was done, Cardi B made sure the world saw her glowing. And now, at the end of this era, Cardi B is being spotted overseas with a man half the internet had never heard of, and the whole industry is now debating whether Cardi B is dating, distracting, deflecting, or doing all 3 at once. But whispers around the industry keep circling one uncomfortable, unavoidable truth. Every time Cardi B enters a man's orbit, the man's past kicks in the door with a battering ram. Every time. Every single time. Now let me get back to this baby mama, because there is more, and it is worse. She wrote about her car. She wrote that she crashed the vehicle that she, alone, from her own pocket, had purchased with her own money. She said she was so exhausted, so beaten down, so alone in the parenting, that on the morning of their son's birthday, she got behind the wheel already broken. Maduka, she claims, refused to help her plan the birthday. She said she received messages from other women that same morning, the morning of her child's birthday, and by the time she pulled onto the road, she was too tired to see straight. She crashed. She survived. And she says the man who did this to her is currently on Cardi B's arm at a runway show. Baby, that is the kind of paragraph that ends careers, sponsorships, and endorsement deals all in one breath. She kept typing. She wrote about the surgery. She said Maduka had an operation while they were still together. She said not one person from his camp showed up to care for him. Not one. She said she cooked. She wiped. She cleaned. She nursed. She loved. She said she found out, in the middle of doing all of it, that Maduka liked both sides. She said he told her. She said he confirmed it. And still, she stayed. Still, she nursed. Still, she cooked. Because, as she puts it, she believed she was building a family. And then Cardi B happened. Now pause with me here. Because I want to be fair to everyone, including a woman I have never met. If half of what this baby mama says is true, why are we hearing it in July of 2026 instead of July of last year? Why is the courtroom empty? Why is there no child support case? Why is there no custody arrangement filed? Why did the receipt stay locked in her camera roll until a paparazzi lens caught Maduka next to Cardi B in a designer suit at a European Fashion Week? Because, and I am going to say this louder for the people scrolling past, the anger you are watching online is not new anger. It is old anger, freshly triggered by a very specific event. An A-list American superstar entering the picture, and pulling every camera in the world into the room. Listen, this is about to get unhinged, because history shows us exactly what happens next. When Cardi B was with Offset, the baby mamas surfaced. When Cardi B was with Stefan Diggs, the baby mamas surfaced. Now Cardi B is spotted twice with Maduka, and a baby mama has surfaced. And whether the woman is right, wrong, wounded, or vindicated, the algorithm does not care. The algorithm rewards the crash out. The internet rewards the crash out. Her followers are already climbing. Screenshots of her posts are already circulating in every group chat from Abuja to Atlanta. Her Instagram handle is already trending in 3 countries. Baby mama math is undefeated. You attach your grievance to a Cardi B storyline and you become a household name in 48 hours flat. But let me be honest with you. This one hits different. And I will tell you why. Because this is not just about infidelity. This is about a child. A child who, according to his mother, has been hospitalized more times this year than his father has visited. A child whose birthday allegedly happened without his dad. A child who, this woman claims, has seen Maduka twice this year and 3 times last year. Twice. In an entire calendar year. If that number is even half true, we are not talking about a scandal. We are talking about a tragedy. And Cardi B, whether she chose it or not, is now the celebrity face of that tragedy in the public imagination. So what does Cardi B do from here? That is the question every publicist in New York and Lagos is asking tonight. Because Cardi B has options. Cardi B could laugh it off, post a bikini, ignore the noise, and let the internet burn itself out. Cardi B could distance herself from Maduka publicly and quietly, letting the tabloids figure it out over the next 2 weeks. Or Cardi B could double down, be seen with Maduka a 3rd time, and dare the world to say anything about it. Knowing Cardi B, knowing the woman who has survived more headlines than most politicians survive scandals, I would bet the house Cardi B does exactly what she wants, exactly when she wants, and exactly how she wants. Because Cardi B has never been a woman who edits her life for the timeline. But here is what makes this Maduka situation different from Offset, different from Stefan Diggs, different from every prior Cardi B storyline we have covered on this channel. This is the first time Cardi B has been linked to a man from an entirely different continent. This is the first time Cardi B's dating life has become an international incident with headlines running in 2 languages. This is the first time a woman on another continent, in a different time zone, in a different language sphere, has taken to social media and dragged a man in Cardi B's orbit. That is not a scandal. That is a globalized scandal. That is a Netflix documentary in the making. That is a headline that runs on 3 continents before breakfast. Let me get even more specific, because you deserve the deeper cut. The baby mama's post did not just make allegations. It made a demand. She essentially told Maduka, and by extension, told the whole internet, that if Maduka had simply been a father, if Maduka had simply shown up, if Maduka had simply loved his son, she would have stayed silent forever. She would have taken it to her grave. She said it herself. She would have never, ever spoken. But because Maduka is out here glowing on the arm of Cardi B while her son sits in a hospital bed asking where daddy is, that is when the pen came out. That is when the receipts got uploaded. That is when the internet became her courtroom and every single one of us became the jury. And now the man is trapped. Because if Maduka denies it, the woman has receipts. If Maduka confirms it, his career explodes on impact. If Maduka stays silent, the internet writes the story without him. And if Maduka's PR team tries to spin this, well, spinning against the Cardi B storyline is like trying to outrun a hurricane in flip-flops with a broken ankle. It does not end well for anybody involved. Meanwhile, Cardi B, the woman at the center of it all, has not said a single word. Not one syllable. No live, no story, no cryptic tweet, no shady Instagram caption, no strategic emoji. And that silence, my loves, is deafening. Because we know Cardi B. Cardi B is not a silent woman by nature. Cardi B is a woman who addresses things head-on, loudly, in real time, in a bonnet if she has to, with receipts of her own. So when Cardi B goes quiet, that is when you should watch her closest. That is when the real move is being planned in the back rooms. Now, some of you are already typing in the comments, why is it always Cardi B? And I want to address that head-on. Because it is a fair question. But the honest answer is, it is not always Cardi B. It is always the woman standing next to a man who was already lying to the woman before her. Cardi B did not create the dishonesty. Cardi B did not father the child. Cardi B did not skip the hospital visits. Cardi B did not send the messages to other women at 7 in the morning on a child's birthday. All Cardi B did was show up in a designer dress and sit next to a man who, allegedly, was living a whole entire double life. So while it is tempting to point fingers at Cardi B, the truth is Cardi B is a magnet, not the source. And every man who steps into Cardi B's orbit better make sure his own house is airtight before the cameras start flashing. Because those cameras are undefeated. And so is the algorithm feeding you this video right now. Let me give you one more layer, because I promised you we would go deep. Insiders close to the situation are whispering that Maduka's inner circle is in full damage control mode. His agents, his stylists, his teammates, even his club, allegedly, is monitoring the internet reaction hour by hour, refresh by refresh. Because a soccer career, especially at the level Maduka is playing, depends on sponsorships, image contracts, and clean-cut branding. A baby mama accusing you of abandoning a hospitalized child, cheating with men and women, and beating her while she cooked for you. That is not a bad PR week. That is a career reset. That is a 9-figure endorsement portfolio getting shredded in real time. And that reset landed the exact same week Maduka was spotted with Cardi B. Coincidence? Or the most expensive collision of timing in modern celebrity news? So what do we do with all of this? Here is my honest, unfiltered take. If everything this woman has posted is true, and I say if, because I am not a judge, I am a girl with a microphone and a laptop, then Maduka has a real reckoning coming that has absolutely nothing to do with Cardi B. That reckoning is between Maduka and his son, between Maduka and a family court, between Maduka and a mother who spent 5 years shielding him from public consequences and finally decided the shielding was over. Cardi B is the spark, not the fire. The fire has been burning in that household for years, one unanswered phone call at a time. And if the accusations are exaggerated, then this woman still owes a court, not a comment section, the real story. Because a child does not need a viral moment. A child needs a father, or failing that, a legally enforced structure. And no Instagram post, no matter how many followers it earns her, no matter how many blue checks res hair it, will replace a signed custody order and a monthly deposit. But we all know the internet does not work that way. The internet works on speed, chaos, and celebrity association. And by attaching her pain to Cardi B, this woman just guaranteed her name will be searched millions of times before the week ends. Whether that was strategic or accidental, you tell me in the comments. Because in 2026, on this internet, both can be true at the exact same time. Because that is the question I want us to sit with. Was this a genuine cry from a broken mother? Was this a calculated career move dressed up as a crash out? Was this both at the same time? Because in 2026, on this internet, all three can be true at once. Pain and strategy are no longer opposites. Pain is strategy. And this baby mama? She just weaponized both with surgical precision. Now, Cardi B, whatever Cardi B is doing with Maduka, needs to lock in. Because if this becomes a public entanglement, Cardi B will inherit not just Maduka, but Maduka's entire backstory. Cardi B will inherit that hospitalized child in the public imagination. Cardi B will inherit that broken mother in the tabloids. Cardi B will inherit the alleged infidelity, the alleged abuse, the alleged double life, the alleged missed birthdays, the whole ledger. Every entry, every line, every unpaid consequence. And Cardi B has been down this road 3 times now. Cardi B knows what happens next. Cardi B knows the receipts always leak. Cardi B knows the baby mamas always speak. Cardi B knows the internet always splits her in half like a courtroom during closing arguments. So the question is not whether Cardi B likes Maduka. The question is whether Cardi B is willing to sign up for that ledger a 4th time in one lifetime. Only Cardi B can answer that. And Cardi B, historically, answers on her own schedule, in her own accent, on her own Instagram live, with her own bonnet on and her own truth in her mouth. As for Maduka's baby mama, I hope, genuinely, that she gets what she actually needs. Not the followers, not the reposts, not the trending page, but the real thing, safety, custody, child support, and a father who shows up, or a court that forces one. Because a viral post fades in 72 hours. A childhood does not. A childhood only happens once. So drop your verdict in the comments section below. Do you think this baby mama is telling the raw, unfiltered truth about Maduka? Do you think Cardi B is being unfairly dragged into a mess that has nothing to do with her? Or do you think Cardi B keeps ending up in these storms for a reason nobody wants to say out loud on camera? I am reading every comment tonight. Every single one. Do not hold back. Do not censor yourselves. Let it fly. And if you have made it this far, smash that like button, subscribe if you have not already, hit the notification bell, and stay locked in. Because tomorrow, if Cardi B says one word, if Maduka posts one photo, if his baby mama drops one more receipt, if a screenshot leaks, if a subtweet lands, if a paparazzi lens catches even one more frame, I will be right back here breaking every second of it down for you, angle by angle, line by line. Because this story is not over. This story is just getting started. And you already know, where Cardi B goes, the internet follows, the cameras chase, and the receipts eventually surface. I will see you in the next one. Stay messy, stay curious, stay tuned. Because Cardi B is Cardi B, and the drama is never, ever finished.